All right, coming back to the duty of care. So, because of the fact that you owe a duty of care, if you see your slides, there's a yellow writing called duty of care, and it's a legal obligation imposed on an individual requiring the adhere to a reasonable standard of care while performing acts that could be forcibly harm others. So, when you break down the duty of care, it sort of it's broken down into different sections. So for instance, you look at an employer-employee relationship, especially as an employer, any building that I sort of occupy to ensure that my staff coming to work, I will ensure that the building has to be safe. So for instance, there must not be any holes in the floors where employees will walk through and fall in, and they might injure themselves, break an ankle, break an arm, or there must not be electrical wires sticking out, in the path of an employee. So when an employee walks past and comes in contact with the wire, they might be electrocuted and they might die. Also, in the sense that there must be a safe place of work, in terms of connecting power cables, in terms of electrical equipments, in terms of items. It must be stored in the appropriate manner, in the appropriate place. So as we go on to look at employer's liability, product liability, we will study these things. So in the famous case there, you see that this guy did not sort of make the ginger beer thinking that a person, Donahue, would go down to Miss Donahue would go down to the cafe and consume the ginger beer and be sick. And then the person was arguing in court, the manufacturer, that I have no contract personally with Miss Donahue. But the court said no. When you made that ginger beer, you know that people will consume the ginger beer. And if you see the ingredients of a ginger beer, it does not say that it contains decomposed snail. As a result, they said that you had a duty of care to ensure that your product was up to standard. And that standard was health standards and then legal standards as well. In terms of health standards, you don't expect a decomposing snail in a product, especially a ginger beer. So when the person drank that ginger beer, they suffered sickness. As a result, you are responsible because you breached the duty of care you owed to that person who consumed your product. So that's what we mean when we say duty of care. So remember in that example that I gave previously, that I talked about the floor up at Puya's guest house in Yalibu. Remember that because Puya guest house, the owner of Puya guest house and the staff have a duty of care to all the tenants that are coming to use the property. So they have to make sure that the stairs going up, there's proper lighting. They have to make sure that a timber is not missing from one of the staircases going up. Because if a timber is missing from one of the staircases going up, if I'm trying to walk and without looking, I put my feet, knowing that there's a timber underneath to support my weight to propel me upwards. When I put my weight and my foot on the timber and it's not there, and my leg goes crashing through the hole, and I suffer injuries, that is a result of the negligence of the duty of care, basically to provide a safe place for people coming to guests to the hotel. So the duty of care, when you breach the duty of care, you are negligent. So, for instance, if you in PNG, if you use a product, most instance you have tin meats and tin fish. People find a lot of stuff in there, basically in these products, and if they consume them, and if they've suffered injuries, they have the right to sue these big companies. So as a result, that is the basis of the law of negligence. If the law provides a duty of care on you, and you negligently uh, breached that duty of care, you are liable for damages. But in Papua New Guinea, there's a lot of case about medical negligence where health workers have negligently sort of attended to people who are sick, as a result, causing them to lose their life, and then the family of the deceased or friends or children can sue uh, the hospital and the particular doctor or nurse for breaching their duty of care to take reasonable care to the person, as a result, causing their death. All right. In your last videos for topic of negligence, I will cover the uh, elements of negligence.